bring it up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
Oh, Graham Rucker for the touchdown. Graham shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Off and rolling here on a Wednesday. I am Brandon Beam hanging out with my guy A-Ward Sports. Rhyme time behind the glass tonight. Austin, very happy. Nice and warm Wednesday to you, buddy. What's happening?
Boy, it was steamy at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center this afternoon. But any day that you talk to James Laurinaitis and the Silver Bullet Linebackers is a wonderful day in my book.
Absolutely it is. It's a terrific day anytime you get to talk to them. We talked a lot about the linebackers last night. Had Riley Pettijohn shedding his black stripe. We got a couple more today, which we'll tell you about here in just a couple of minutes. What were your overall arching themes today from talking to James and the linebackers, other than that they will be very good this year?
Yeah, they're going to be, I think, awesome.
I do too.
And if you like the word freak, today was the day for you. Arvell Reese.
Don't say it.
Just from a different planet. He's not taller today.
Okay, good.
But everyone else kept saying how much bigger he looked. And I just stood in the back and I said,
I'm not going to say it today.
I'll take this one off. But he did say, yeah, I feel a lot different physically. I'm like, yeah, I know. I've been talking about this literally every day since the end of spring.
For 8 months.
Yeah. And I said, congratulations, Arvell. You did not grow an inch today. Like, he's like, yeah.
Big congrats to you.
Just 8 more pounds of muscle. Yeah. It was 237 back then, and now I'm 245. Great. I cannot believe that he's not on the actual freaks list because he is probably the freakiest athlete on this Ohio State roster. And the way that, Sonny Styles, one of the more, thoughtful players on this roster, probably going to be the Blocko. And it's like, well, what have you seen from the development from Arvell? Well, he used to make a lot of mistakes and, it would take a little bit of time to correct it. And that was new. He was learning a position. It was the first time he was doing it.
Yeah.
He'd been shuffled back and forth between defensive line to linebackers. It's not uncommon for that to happen. Also, he's just a true junior. And then now it's like, well, if he does something wrong on one day, he's probably going to have it fixed in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's where you become a very dangerous player.
And he's going to be very dangerous to opponents and very violent. And James Laurinaitis was talking about...
When we talk about football, when you hear dangerous and violent to opponents, don't you just get excited?
It's that time.
That's the best thing that you can be if you're a defender. And really any position on the field.
And Sonny Styles is aggressive and physical and violent as well. And Peyton Pierce is going to do that too.
Yeah, I heard James say that there's, the way that I consider these guys, we got 3 starting linebackers here.
3 starting linebackers. And we've made this point a lot with Matt Patricia that, what does the defense look like? And now you have to wait week to week. I mean, there are going to be games where there's 3 linebackers on the field. And you don't have to ask who they're going to be. It's pretty clear. Although with Riley Pettijohn, it's too early for him to be jumping into that. They're having the conversation that's very similar and reminiscent to me about Arvell Reese. He got the black stripe off on Tuesday. We talked about that on the Buckeye Show last night. But it's like, well, he is tall, he's strong, he's fast, he's physically mature for his age, but he's still making some mistakes.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, once you get past that point, then you become Arvell Reese.
Yeah, that's a natural. It's not a natural progression, but it is a natural progression, it seems like, for the last couple of years in that room, at least.
And I do think that is it. The biggest tribute and compliment you can pay to James Laurinaitis at this point, because the recruiting and the depth in that room had dropped off considerably circa 5-6 years ago. And it has been on this incline to now. It's not even just Riley Pettijohn. Garrett Stover, James Laurinaitis said today, he had one of the better days of anyone on the Ohio State defense. You have TJ Alford in the mix there. Like, this room is built for the present and the future. It's a really exciting time for the Silver Bullets. They've been going through Beamer, and James walked up to the table. He's got apparently an interview coming up with the AP celebrating 100 years of the All-American team.
Okay.
They want to talk to him.
He did that a few times, I think.
Jerry's scheduling this with him. I was chatting a little bit with James. Oh, whoa, they want you. I'm a 3-time All-American. Yeah. Look at me.
Just a 3-star from Wayzata.
Yeah, just giving him a little hard time because he doesn't like that attention. He doesn't like that spotlight on him. Because he's teaching All-American history lessons to the linebacker room.
Well, yeah, it was actually funny. Side note on that, Ohio State was releasing some content. I think it was this morning, Austin, or maybe it was last night. They're doing talks in the tub, right? They're doing cold tub talks, and you got a player out there interviewing players. And today was, who's your Mount Rushmore of Ohio State players? And you could tell it's been a long time since James has played with his answers compared to everyone else, which is like Marvin Harrison Jr., Chase Young, Chris Olave.
Jeff Okudah.
Yeah, Jeff Okudah wasn't made the list. And then you had James was like Orlando Pace, Archie Griffin, Randy Gradishar. And someone looked at him like, who is Randy Gradishar? And he was like, man, you should know that. You're a Buckeye. He's an NFL Hall of Famer. He's a college Hall of Famer. He's a leading tackler all time in this program. And then Mike Doss. Yeah. It was funny just to hear that, because it's been 20 years since James and those guys dueled Texas 20 years ago here at night in the shoe. Yeah. That was the 2005 season.
And also Fox is going to be cutting up James's interview for the end of it when he talked about reminiscing on 20 years. And he's like, yeah, now you have these two programs and the burnt orange and the scarlet and gray and it's 1 versus 2 and it's the horseshoe and that atmosphere. Like, I had goosebumps. I was like, is that a concrete wall over there? I'm going through it.
Let's run through it.
I'm going through it right now. So that capped it off. Earlier than that, he'd been talking about, what you're mentioning here with Randy Gradishar is like they've gone through all the All-Americans in the linebacker room, and it's been a while since they've been at that point. It's not to motivate, but to explain the standard, which I'm told is the standard in that room.
Yep.
For the Silver Bullets.
I've heard that phrase once or twice.
But
Seems new.
He did say, though, he was going to skip over the chapter 33. Yeah, I guess probably because they already know.
He doesn't need to skip over that. If there's anybody who doesn't need to skip over their own legacy, it's him. But that's the kind of person that he is.
Well, I think the point is, he didn't say it this way, but I was joking about it, and I interjected during the interview, like, well, they already know you.
Yeah, they do.
The reason that they're here, the reason that Riley Pettijohn and TJ Alford and Peyton Pierce are here is because of you. So it'd be weird if they didn't already know that this is a 3-time All-American and at one point one of the highest paid defensive players in the history of the NFL. I think they're aware of his resume.
Leading tackler, I believe, for the Rams in their franchise history, too.
I think he did some good things at Ohio State. I can't remember.
Yeah, no, I can't either.
You walk down the hallway, I think you can
bloat his ego too much.
Can see some trophies that have his name on it.
Yeah,
so
just a few.
Yeah, so they probably can skip that chapter, but it's cool because James Laurinaitis is in a unique position where not only has he lived it, but he's lived it for a long time. He knows, and he's a student of the game and a student of Ohio State history beyond all that. So I think we've made this point before with the Brian Hartline, living it, walking it, then selling it, understanding it. Not only did you play at a high level at Ohio State, you then went off to the NFL, you came back to your alma mater, and how these guys are having so much success, then developing and then pitching to the next generation of athletes. And James Laurinaitis deserves credit for that. And there was a point today where he was asked, like, to put in perspective how advanced Riley Pettijohn is for a true freshman at this time. And he was like, well, I don't know how to answer that because I've only been doing this for a couple years. And because you forget that.
Yeah.
Because
he's been doing it longer than that, but in this current capacity.
Well, this is his second full-time year. The GA year with Jim Knowles, where he was essentially running the linebacker room, that was 2 years ago. And then a year before that was 1 year of being a GA at Notre Dame. He hasn't been doing it. He knows the position.
He's entering his senior year of coaching.
Yeah.
His fourth year of college coaching.
But you just assume, those of us that have known James for any length of time, or you watched him play in college or whatever, it's like, well, he was born to do this.
Produced a radio show of his back in the day.
It was pretty good too. Just
it was.
Whatever he chooses to do and rolls out of bed in the morning, he's going to do it at a high level. And that it now includes recruiting, developing, and coaching on a day-to-day basis. But, it's fun to watch that part. And then you get the reminder that's like, oh my gosh, like, what is this going to look like in 5 years for him?
Mm-hmm.
And
probably whatever he wants it to look like, honestly, Austin. And I don't know what the future is for James, like what his grand goal is. If that's to become a defensive coordinator and then ultimately a head coach, naturally, that's what you think when you think of coaching progression, right? You become a GA, you become a position coach, and we're talking about not a lot of people getting to live that out. But when you have a background like James does, and you have the coaching prowess that we've just seen in a very short stint here at Ohio State, then you start thinking, okay, well, what's the big picture? What's your why, right? And those guys talk about it all the time over there.
Yeah, and snap judgments this afternoon at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. Berm decided to just kick it off with a bold prediction, and he said, I don't know, it seemed like a little bit of a recency bias in the moment that we just occurred.
Berm does get caught up in the moment.
He said, I'm guaranteeing now the bold prediction that the next head coach, when Ryan Day eventually walks away, hangs it up, is going to be James Laurinaitis. And I was like, again, he's 4 years into this. But if you're looking that far down the, like, I don't know how far down the road, honestly.
I don't either.
Like,
look at Marcus's
7
track.
years,
right? I mean, look at Marcus Freeman. What his track was. He wasn't hanging around for a long time. Was popping into places. Now he's a head coach at Notre Dame.
But now you're living in this world where the two guys that I talked about both could be the head coach at Ohio State and living it and selling it at the absolute highest level as the head coach, because they're both on this track that, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, do they actually want to do it? Mm-hmm. They've made all this NFL money. Are they interested in the grind of recruiting? Well, it turns out it's not that hard for them. They know how to do it.
Yeah,
they might push back on that, say we don't enjoy every part of that, but they're really, really good at it, and they know how to develop, and they understand what it takes to coach and play at Ohio State. And it's like there are two options that are in the building right now that you don't even have to think that hard to believe that could happen down the road.
I don't even think fans would have to think that hard about it either.
I think they would sign up for it. If you're going to say we get 7 more years of fully locked in Ryan Day, and who knows how many championships that provides, and then he's like, I'm ready to go. The kids are done with high school. They're out of here. They're done with college. Reason. And, whatever it is. And you're like, the head coach in 2032 is Brian Hartline or James Laurinaitis.
And
where do I sign?
Sold.
Where do I sign?
So sounds like a great next 15 years.
Boy, I bet the future's bright.
Hey, we've got some surprise movement along the Ohio State offensive line. You're going to hear from Ryan Day on that front next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Now is a great time to schedule a back-to-school dental appointment. Dr. Hal Jeter, president of the Ohio Dental Association, is here to tell us more.
Your child's teeth and gums need the right food, nutrition, and vitamins to grow strong and stay healthy. Help them maintain good oral health by brushing every morning and night, flossing, visiting the dentist twice a year, and developing good eating habits. As kids head back to school, it's important to know that foods and drinks high in sugar, acidity, and other cavity-promoting substances are often low in nutritional value, and they have the potential to create plaque capable of damaging tooth enamel. A back-to-school dental appointment can diagnose any potential problems and improve your child's oral health. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state, are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, are bound by the highest ethical standards, and obtain superior ongoing education and training. Ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association so you know you are being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit oda.org.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
AgPro has been family-owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
Where more than 1,700 scientists are working on new treatments and new hope for every form of cancer.
You're making the choice to have the most advanced treatments, many of which were developed right here.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh, no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium, presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Plenty of sunshine, light winds, a bit warmer and a bit more humid on this Wednesday. Temperatures in the mid-80s. Overnight will fall back down to the mid-60s. Fair skies and light winds for your Thursday morning. And during the day, more sunshine, a bit warmer and a bit more humid. Highs in the mid to upper 80s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
4 out of 5 dentists recommend this show. The other dentist is a Michigan fan. Yuck. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Hanging out with my guy, Austin Ward. Let me tell you, dropping just 25 pounds of the Waken 180 could give you 10 extra degrees of golf swing rotation. It's about a half a club longer. 6 to 10 extra yards every swing. From experience, lose 75 pounds like I did, and we're talking next level distance, consistency, and even mood. Every pound you drop takes 4 pounds of pressure off your knees. Think about that for a second, about that science. I lost 300 pounds of pressure off of mine. Take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame. Online at awaken180weightloss.com. Before we go any further in the program, it is a shorty show tonight. Inside Edge will be coming up at 7 o'clock. And we're going to get to some Ryan Day stuff here in just a second. But, Austin, we were doing black stripe alerts, and we were yelling at Reimer last night to have something for us, and he cut this up. All right, thanks, Reimer.
Rhyme time.
Good job on that. We have
You're the man, dude.
2 of them today. 2 black stripes were removed over at Buckeye practice. 1, C.J. Donaldson, transfer running back out of West Virginia. We're both expecting big years out of him and James Peoples. Also, perhaps a Bo Jackson in the mix as the 3rd running back. But the way that they worked with Trey and Q last year, would think that that's going to be kind of the same idea, Austin, this year. So C.J. Donaldson, who we're expecting to have a big season, finally an official Buckeye. And then, I don't know if they do this on purpose. They go offense, defense. They can do it whenever they feel like. Devin Sanchez, who we're also expecting a lot out of, if not this year, in the coming years, in his very bright future at Ohio State. Both of those fine fellas having their black stripes removed today over at Buckeye Camp.
Yeah, pretty notable day there, because everyone is aware of the 5-star hype around Devin Sanchez in the Ohio State secondary there. I think he's going to play. I don't know how much, because you have Aaron Scott back, you have Jermaine Matthews, you have Davis Igbenogson, and it's tough to start expanding that rotation out to 4. But he's going to be good enough.
He'll push for it.
To push that and to give options to Tim Walton. And if you need it, you can turn to him. I think, it's like any freshman. You see, flashes of the potential. And for him, it's probably higher than most human beings. But there's also, you're acclimating to the speed of this game, the physicality of it. You're nitpicking, especially when you're Tim Walton, and you don't have to force a true freshman into the lineup. You don't. If Devin Sanchez had gone anywhere else in the country, it's like, okay, well, there's there's learning curve here. There's going to be growing pains. But
have fun. Good luck out there.
But he's got to be out there, and he's going to learn on the fly. Ohio State doesn't have to do that. Now, that doesn't mean that they won't play him. Doesn't mean that they don't want to get him involved on special teams or in third quarters, fourth quarter games.
Absolutely, they want to get him involved in special teams and then in perhaps some blowouts.
Because the faster that you get him ready, the better that your overall depth is, the better your team is. And he's going to look a lot different by the middle of November or December than he does right now, which is still pretty darn good. C.J. Donaldson, I believe I've got that marker down there that C.J. Donaldson is going to lead this team in carries. That's how good I think he can be. You've got that level of experience at West Virginia, and you change your body, you get these resources, and you're taking full advantage of it with strength, with nutrition, with everything else that Ohio State has in place for him. Plus Carlos Lachlan, he's already shown in 1 year how much he can get out of guys, and the way that you mentioned Quinshon and Travion. And, if you're not on board with that workload and sharing it and being a team guy, well, find another room.
Yeah.
And C.J. Donaldson, I think, has bought into that. James Peoples has as well. I'm looking forward to talking to both of them about that.
They Friday?
Yes, Friday.
They are Friday.
Yeah, it is Fridays.
What's going on tomorrow? So it's Big Ten Day?
Yeah,
Big
so
Ten
we're
Network Day?
No interviews tomorrow. No open viewing period for the local media. BTN's got that exclusively on lock, so you'll have to watch that if you want to see or hear from the Buckeyes. And I'm sure there'll be a lot more coordinator interviews and Ryan Day popping on there. We'll see. Jeremiah Smith has been volunteering for all of those interviews. I know he's super excited for all that. We'll see who else gets to go out there. But that's a day that typically in the past, local media has got to watch. That'd be one of our last opportunities before the season opener. But when you have a opener like Texas and you have a quarterback battle going on, sometimes those things disappear. I understand it. I'm not mad about it one way or another.
Instead, it's going to be broadcast live on national television.
Well, I think there's going to be some restrictions on that as well. So
the camera setup will not show live fields in the background.
And it's also when they ask, hey, when would be a good day to roll through? Here's kind of what we're thinking. It's like for Ohio State, it tends to be, hey, get here early because they also don't want the quarterback battle beamed to the world.
No, they don't.
And the last time, the funniest example of the Big Ten bus tour rolling through was 2021. And there was a quote-unquote battle going on between C.J. Stroud and Kyle McCord.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, just got a load management day for C.J. Stroud, who did not throw at all when BTN was there. So they could not talk about
Remember
it.
back, what a crazy time that was. If you just transport yourself back to the season opener of that season, that Thursday night at Minnesota. Like, I don't know if CJ's the guy. Let's give Kyle McCord some spot time. And then
he did get spot time. He started a game 3 weeks into the season.
Yeah, he did. Was that a shoulder issue for CJ?
CJ was working through a shoulder issue.
Yeah.
You had the Oregon game sandwiched in there in between where for some reason he was getting blamed for the loss despite throwing for 480 yards.
Yeah, also I remember from that season, run left is what Oregon did all day in the horseshoe that day.
That was a strange day and a strange month. And probably one of the more forgettable ones in the tenured history of Kerry Combs, but we don't need to break down all that anymore.
No, we don't.
The revenge has been taken by Ohio State against Oregon.
Yes, it has. And it's actually in a brick in the Rose Bowl currently.
It is.
With the final score that reads the MVPs and Ryan Day and Dan Lanning. So Dan Lanning's also going to go down in infamy forever in the Rose Bowl. Austin, we didn't get a chance to talk about this yesterday, but when Ryan Day was having his media session, he actually kind of broke a little bit of news on the offensive line front. We had assumed at least what was going on in spring. He said Austin Sareveld will play. He is a starter. And then we were like, all right, well, you brought in Ethan Onianwa. Like, well, he's going to be the left tackle. Austin Sareveld's going to be the right. But here is the news that Ryan Day broke when he was kind of talking about Austin Sareveld. And you can actually hear Murph interject in this because I think it caught him a little bit and maybe everybody there off guard.
First off, when you look at his size compared to the guys we've had in the past, he has plenty size. When you look at his athleticism, he's athletic enough and his strength is that way. So I've gone through it with Mick and with Tyler to see, does he have enough length? Does he have enough size to play the position? The answer is yes. And he was very comfortable there in the spring. So we're seeing some things out of him this offseason in terms of leadership, just taking on, a great voice in that room. He was an Iron Buckeye. So all these things are leading us to believe that he can be our left tackle moving forward. But, or Austin?
You said left.
So he's getting work at left right now. Yeah, and but now, again, primary positions, secondary positions, these things are all into play, but we believe that he can do that. He can play left tackle for us. We certainly know he can play guard. Ethan, Phil, those guys are all playing. Ian Moore. So those guys are rolling and getting a lot of reps. You guys saw in the first 3 days we've been getting a ton of reps. Now we're on one field, going 1s, 2s, and 3s. So kind of like with the quarterbacks, we'll let this thing play out and see where we're at. But I will say that Austin's, shown that he can do it. He can play tackle.
One, that's fantastic news. Two, I think he was breaking a little bit of news to any Ohio State fan out there, given the assumption that we thought he was going to play right tackle. He is getting work at left. But again, you go back to last offseason, Austin, and last training camp when Ohio State was involved with the hand, foot, and mouth disease. They literally learned it on the fly that it is so valuable to be versatile and play multiple different positions. So I don't know if it's that, or I don't know if it's like, hey, Austin Saraveld's really good, and we're just going to make him our starting left tackle.
Yeah, Ryan Day broke news, and for the 10,000th time on the Buckeye Show, I will say that Ryan Day doesn't make accidents when he's speaking into a live microphone.
Pat thought he did, because Pat was like, you mean right tackle?
So you want to interject on that and get some clarification, and I'm glad he did, because I do think that it painted a clearer picture of what I believe is actually happening, which is the last part was the most relevant. Primary position and secondary position. Mm-hmm. For Austin Saraveld, and I think that would be if something happened at left tackle, where on the first 3 days, and this is the time of camp where you experiment, and you want to make absolutely sure that you know that everyone is in the best 5 spots that they can be for your starting lineup. It's too important when you have a first-time starting quarterback. The protection's got to be there, the run blocking's got to be there, and you don't have to go play Texas this Saturday. So you can move them around. And Justin Fry did this in the past, and Tyler Bowen is doing it now. He talked about that throughout spring camp, the way that he likes to do it in cross-training, dual positions, secondary positions. What I think they're doing here is, all right, well, what happens if we got to make a move at left tackle?
Yeah.
Can Austin Saraveld do that? He did it in training camp a year ago when they were working through the illness. He popped over there. He really flashed, and that was the seed that was planted. It's like, well, maybe Austin Saraveld can play tackle for this team.
He can do this.
Everything before had been projected for guard. Now he can do that. You've got years of reps at guard. You've got all of spring at right tackle. Really good at that. A year ago at left tackle. And I think now it's like, oh, okay, here's a scenario. Austin Saraveld goes to left tackle. Then what do we do at right tackle? Then you have Phillip Daniels and Ian Moore, vying for that spot. What happens if there's a need at guard? Oh, well, it seems like Ethan Onyanwa could play there. You could move Austin Saraveld in there. You can move around the pieces. You got Carson Hinsman. He could move from center to guard.
Yeah.
And you have Josh Padilla, who can then step in at center. So you have a lot to play with here. And there were Randy didn't say it in that question specifically, but he was talking about the depth of this offensive line, how great it was. It was 10-11, the best that he's had since he's been the head coach here. And he said, well, that's good. We've got that to work with. And now we need to figure out what the starting 5 looks like.
We need to shrink it down.
And I still think that based on the way Ohio State was traveling these guys and playing them, when we saw the first unit together on Saturday, I still believe when you go out there against Texas that Ethan Onyanwa will be at left tackle, that Luke Montgomery will be at left guard, Carson Hinsman will be at center, Tegra Shabola will be at right guard, and Austin Saraveld will be at right tackle. But they have options to do other things if they need to. I think this is the week where you look at it and experiment with it. And Ryan Day and Mickey Marotti and Tyler Bowen have said, well, if we get to this point, Austin Saraveld can kick over to the left. I still believe that moving forward, he'll be on the right, but we'll see. That some of that's going to come down to what happens on Saturday.
One thing we love about Sundays in the football season is Red Zone. Could that be coming to college football? We'll get that in the Pulse coming up in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and it's the Toyota National Sales Event all month long at Toyota West. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of no payments for 90 days, and every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. No payments for 90 days. Deferred payment. Interest accrued at time of inception with approved credit. Expires 8/31.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
Hey, Ohio State fan, are you ready for game day? Get hyped and get your crew going with the Buckeye Meal at BK. For $20, you'll get 1 juicy flame grilled Whopper sandwich, 1 original chicken sandwich, 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers, 3 crispy golden small fries, and 3 refreshing small drinks. Grab your $20 Buckeye Meal today and share the taste of victory. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. Tax extra. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
It's time for the College Football Pulse on the Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
And shorty show for us tonight. Inside Edge coming up at 7 o'clock. By the way, tomorrow, Murph Dog and I are going to be out at Yogi's in Grandview.
Oh, baby.
$3 Coors Light Draft Special, 6 to 8. Come and hang out with us. We can ask Pat and do 15 minutes on why he interjected for Ryan Day and why he thinks that he made a mistake. Talking about Austin Sarabelt being left tackle.
Because he's a journalist. He's getting to the bottom of the matter.
Yes, he is.
And thank God he did.
Yeah, thank you, Murph. So we're going to be out there tomorrow at Yogi's in Grandview from 6 to 8. Again, $3 Coors Light Draft Specials, which you can get hanging out with us, listening to the show, which will be a grand old time. Reimer, what do you got for us tonight, big dog?
So a deal was announced today between ESPN and the NFL, and that is ESPN acquiring NFL Network along with RedZone, while Roger Goodell hinted at more coming with this deal on ESPN's end, saying, obviously in the context of that, though, ESPN purchased the RedZone name, and they will be able to utilize that for other sports, college football and other things. And I think that could be an exciting thing for our fans also to see a RedZone maybe in college football or other sports. That's something that they now own and have the ability to do that. How much would you guys love this?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you could do a lot of segments talking about the NFL purchasing a stake in ESPN and vice versa, and what that means for the league and breaking news.
Pretty suspicious.
Yeah, I mean, it is a pretty wild story that the league now has. It's 10% of ESPN, right? Yeah. Is what they now own. I just hypothetically, when I'm thinking about this, like, didn't we have this a few years ago? Wasn't it called like ESPN Goal Line, where they went around the country and kind of did this? I inherently think it would be an awesome idea. I almost am to the point though on Sundays, Austin, because I do have the league pass. I like watching the NFL. That's what my Sundays are for. Like during the football season, like I sit down, I cry about the Bears game every weekend, and then by the time the 4:00 games come on, I'm quickly rebounded. But the Red Zone is almost too much for me.
I'm glad you said that.
It's almost too much.
I thought I was going to be alone.
Bam! Here we go down to Carolina. What just happened down in Tampa? Off to the West Coast. Like, I feel like I'm all over the place. It's like watching football on just a crazy brain. I almost can't deal with it. Now, there are some times where if there's not a lot of good games on for the quad box, like I will pop Red Zone on in the corner without the sound, because I think it's the whoosh, whoosh. It's the whoosh sound effects that I'm like, I don't know what you're doing, man. My head is spinning. Some people love it. I get it for fantasy aspects. Like you're refreshing your phone every 30 seconds to find out whether you have a 0.1 lead on an opponent or you're down 100 before the halftime of the 1:00 games. I think it would be a great idea, but herein lies the problem is that with college football compared to the NFL, and I think we all know the majority of the difference here, the NFL is its own private entity, and the Big Ten and the SEC and the ACC and the Big 12 are all of their own entities. So in this world in which ESPN decided that they were going to launch a Red Zone package for college football, it would only be for the ESPN products. Like, there would not be a situation in which I would see that ESPN agrees to Fox and NBC and CBS to say, oh, well, we can put your games on the Red Zone platform, or whatever they're going to call it. College Football RedZone, I would think, would be something that would think of. So it would just be the ESPN games. It wouldn't be the full 1 o'clock slate.
Nope.
It would be FS1 and, Big Ten Network and Fox and all the games that weren't on ESPN. They wouldn't have access to that. Although it sounds awesome, and they do. ESPN has a ton of media coverage on college football on any given Saturday. There's like 100 different games on ESPN Plus that I usually never get around to watching. Like, that would be a cool feature. But at the same time, you're not including the entire college football slate because of the media rights deals.
Yeah, and there's already a version of that if you have YouTube TV and you can fire up, 4 different channels.
The quad box, nothing better.
I'm like you with Red Zone. I hate it.
You hate the quad box?
I can't do it.
Oh, man, I need to train you on the quad box.
No, so
I can train everybody on the quad box. I'm pretty good at it.
It's not that I don't know how to use it.
Well, I know you know how to use it. I need to train your eyes to figure out how to watch, because Meredith asks me that every year. How are you watching all 4 games at once? I said, I'm not. I have one game that I put in the top left corner that is the game of interest. That's game number 1 on the big board. And then game number 2 on the interest scale goes on the top right. Game number 3 goes on the bottom left. Game number 4 goes on the bottom right. So I've trained my eyes. If there's a break in the top left, I go to the top right. If there's a break in that game, I go to the bottom left, and then so on and so forth. But the volume, for the most part, stays on the same channel.
Well, that's important. Once in a blue moon, Ohio State will play a night game.
Mm-hmm. And that is once in a blue moon.
And when that blue moon arrives and Berm is down early at the Ward House, he fires up the YouTube TV. He's got 4 games going over here. He's got an iPad going with 4 games over here. And I'm like, this is not how my TV works, okay? I can't handle it. And Liberty's staring at it. She's like, this is amazing. There's 4 games going on up here. I'm like, I don't know what's happening in any of them. This is too much. I'm old. I need one game. I want to be immersed in that game.
You are so
I want
old.
the full picture. If I can avoid the big noon game, the sound on that, so I don't have to listen to.
Well, luckily you are able to avoid that for the majority of the time that Ohio State is playing in those games.
God is good.
Yeah, I'm the same way with you though. For Buckeyes and for Bears, they get the screen.
Yeah,
they get the solo screen.
Let me lock in, baby.
And then I usually have a laptop or an iPad going with the quad box that I have either on my stomach or on the table next to me.
Deep throw and complete.
Jack Sawyer. Scoop and score touchdown. Buckeyes 62, Purdue nothing. Reimer, what else you got for us tonight?
So ESPN ranked the top 15 most in quarterbacks for the 2025 college football season. Number 1 is, of course, Arch Manning.
Did they have a sponsor for this one, too?
Not State Predictor.
Not this one. Number 2 is Gunnar Stockton at Georgia, scrolling down the list, and Julian Sayin is 6th. No Lincoln Kienholz, though.
Yeah, I think this is just the entire nature of the beast. Austin, you talked about it yesterday. The pressure of being quarterback number 1 at Ohio State. Now, let's just take a step back and see what we've been talking about this offseason and for the majority of spring camp. We know that we've had questions about the defensive line, right? I mean, that's a main question heading into the season, especially the depth there. We've decided that none of the linebackers on this team are from planet Earth, and they have a bevy of depth at defensive back. Their offensive line is the deepest it's ever been. Their wide receiver room is the best in the country, and their running backs are going to be awesome. All of that to say you're the reigning national champions, and the expectation never dips below undefeated, perfect 12-0 season here at Ohio State. I'm not entirely sure that this list is accurate. You can have a Julian Sayin and or Lincoln Kienholz on this list. The title isn't who's the best quarterback in college football. It's the most important quarterback, and that is going to be the deciding factor, like it or not, on the way that Ohio State plays this year is going to be the quarterback.
But Julian Sayin is listed at number 6. Mm-hmm. And even if we say, well, that could be or should be the Ohio State quarterback, whoever it is, which there's a great argument to be made that that position is always the most important in college football. Yeah. Number 7 is Drew Aller. So go ahead and try and rationalize that. Everything is riding on a senior quarterback for Penn State who the national media has decided that James Franklin has copied the blueprint from Ohio State.
Same with Cade Klubnik, Garrett Nussmeier, and Carson Beck. Like, all those guys are behind Julian Sayin.
If you're talking about breaking through to do something for the first time at Penn State specifically, or Clemson trying to get back to the top, there is more pressure on Cade Klubnik and Drew Aller. They are more important to their teams given the amount of time they've spent in that program and the level of investment that they've made around them.
Agreed.
That part is just bananas.
We've already heard from Jimmy Haslam that Arch Manning is coming back for another year at Texas regardless.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Let's all buy that. It depends on your perspective, right? Because I think that is the number one most important position in college football is Ohio State quarterback.
I think every fan base who is listed here in this top 15, and these are all the big teams, Texas, Georgia, Bama, Notre Dame, Oregon, Ohio State, all the teams. I think every fan base around the country would tell you that their quarterback success rate this year is the most important for any college football team in America.
But I don't think that that's true for Ohio State. Either they're number one because that is the highest profile, most scrutinized, toughest position to play in college sports, Ohio State quarterback, or it's not in the top 15 at all. Tell me what criteria you want to use, because I don't think that Ohio State's quarterback, given the way that Ryan Day believes in both Julian Sayin and Lincoln Kienholz, is on one guy to make or break the roster. They can build an offense that will suit the skill set of either one.
You're right.
I firmly believe that because of what you mentioned with the offensive line, with the wide receivers, with the tight ends, with C.J. Donaldson and James Peoples.
I didn't even mention the tight ends. That was a disservice to them.
By the way,
it's
they have
the best room in the country.
By the way, they have the best tight end unit in the country. So,
my bad, Keenan.
I don't know where they would have had Will Howard on this list a year ago, but the whole conversation about bringing in Will Howard was your quarterback doesn't have to be Superman. And I don't think that that's the case for this version of Ohio State's offense or their overall attacking of the national title and defending what they won a year ago.
He was pretty close at the end of the year.
He was playing great football, without question. But he got better as the year went along. That's definitely going to happen, I think, or I would assume, for Julian Sayin and or Lincoln Kienholz. So, if you think that this is the most important position in college football, I understand. Put that number one, but put the Ohio State quarterback and don't name a name. If you think it's Ohio State's success is solely relying on Julian Sayin, I absolutely don't believe that.
Hey, that's why people can disagree.
They can. I love list season, man. Can we get done with it, though?
No, we've still got a couple more weeks to go, Austin, for list season.
Great.
I'm going to make sure when you're back in here on Monday that the show is nothing but lists.
I haven't even seen the schedule, but if that's the case, I don't know.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're just doing lists. The last list shows of the year. We had a rookie Buckeye scrapping an NFL training camp today. We'll do that in hashtag Buckeyes next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help Chad.
Hi, I'm Chad. I've been taking the low T treatment at Tri-State Men's Health for a little under a year now. So I was really just struggling with finding the energy to accomplish the things I wanted to do every day. By the end of the workday, I was very drained and tired and found it hard to concentrate and get my job done, and was looking for something to kind of get that edge back. Once I started taking the treatment, I felt probably within the first 2 to 3 weeks more energy. And the thing that really I noticed right away was sleeping. Now I get a solid 8 hours. I'm going on vacation. I'm enjoying myself. So men out there, if you're struggling with any of the symptoms I was, low energy, brain fog, lack of sleep, I would highly recommend you call Tri-State Men's Health. You won't regret it.
Thanks, Chad. It's true. Low T therapy will likely change your life. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Attention Columbus. Town Properties just clinched the title of the largest residential property manager in Columbus, thanks to the Columbus Business Journal. With pride, we oversee 25,000 plus households in the Columbus metro area, ensuring fantastic places to call home. Whether you're on the hunt for an exceptional living space, a top-notch association management company, or a property manager for your multifamily portfolio, visit our website at town-properties.com and let us elevate your living experience. Town Properties, always managing great places to live.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, community banking is the lifeblood of the American financial system, building strong, lasting relationships. We're just better able to help guide you down life's road. Flexibility is paramount to success. Community banking is alive and well in the Heartland. I'm Scott McComb. Come on over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We're rebranding our AM station, and the first order of business is bringing back the and Show. It's been gone for 15 years. All the fun starts Tuesday, September 2nd on the yet-to-be-named 1460 The Fans HD2.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with the team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, loads and no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate, or go to bathsrus.com. 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go forward through school into your future as an IT professional. Whether you're starting out, switching careers, or a veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the VA benefits.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Social media can be a cesspool. Allow us to navigate the waters. #Buckeyes.
Sponsored by the Waterworks. Call the plumbing, heating, and cooling technicians at the Waterworks and header today. Call 614-232-2222. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Inside Edge is up next. Reminder, Murph and I going to be out at Yogi's in Grandview tomorrow. Pop by 6 to 8. Enjoy some nice frosty Coors Light dress for $3. Seems like a good time to mention that we here on the Buckeye Show are brought to you by our good friends over at Coors Light. When those mountains are blue, which they will be tomorrow at Yogi's in Grandview, they're as cold as the Rockies.
That Nashville hot chicken sandwich I had there last week, oh, baby.
Yeah, it's great. They're not scared to be great.
We were working. It was on fire.
Yeah, it's terrific. Maybe Pat and I will play some land curling tomorrow. That's where we need to set up the live broadcast. It's just right by the shuffleboard table.
Maybe I'll just pop in and
do it.
Throw some stones.
Everybody's invited. Reimer, you're not invited because you have to be back here running the board. Actually, you're not even here tomorrow. Nate is with us tomorrow, so you are invited tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
What are you working tomorrow?
I'll be on Rothman and Ice tomorrow.
Just you and Austin tomorrow.
Let's go, baby.
There's zero excuse that.
Hey, do you want to come hang out with us?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I got stuff going on tomorrow.
Oh, he's busy. Great.
I got things going on tomorrow, including Meredith is working tomorrow, and I'm at home with a 2-year-old taking a nap.
Oh, all right. Well, if he's asleep, just sling him over your shoulder.
Yeah,
bring him
you're
on
right.
down.
Theo's coming home tomorrow, so
okay.
Theo can just watch him. We've done that before.
He's a pro.
Yeah, he is. You know, they call pit mixes and or pit bulls, which is what Theo is. They call them nanny dogs. Did you know that?
I did
back
not.
in the day, they were used for like nanny purposing. Which I had no clue until we were getting ready to have a child. I'm like, how's this going to work? And then I found that out. I said, okay, that works.
That's good information.
Yeah, he's just going to babysit all day. Before we get out of here, our fan poll at 971thefan.com or on X at 971thefan. In general, Are you a fan of the new traditions that Ohio State is implementing in an effort to improve the game day atmosphere at Ohio Stadium? Yes or no? I give them credit for trying. We will find out in 24 days what that looks like when the Burn Orange of Texas runs out of that stadium and the band's in the north end zone. And you got the Block O South rocking and the victory bell before the game. I like the victory bell before the game idea. It just is a little wonky with the wording of the word victory bell.
Yeah, I wonder, because you don't want to rebrand it. The victory bell has existed for, what, 125?
Yeah, they can't call it the bell.
And it's,
I mean, they could.
They were talking about how, for vigor is above the bell. It's like, if it's pregame, you might need to rebrand it. Like, this is the vigor bell before the game, and it's the victory bell after the game. Because there are people at Ohio State that are like, we're a little bit nervous about this part.
First time out of the gates with Texas coming into town. We're ringing the victory bell before they come on the field.
And I said,
how could that ever backfire?
I said, you're probably right.
Because as it should have come up in any marketing meeting.
Because someday, somehow, Ohio State may lose a game in the horseshoe. And I said, I know this is exactly what's going to happen. Every single visiting media member is going to mock the victory bell in the lead of their story.
Yeah.
Ohio State, a little overconfident there, ringing that victory bell. And then so-and-so showed up and just put a crack in it.
Victory bell was quiet after the game.
Yeah, there you go, Reimer. Look at you. Purdue 42, Ohio State 10.
What did you... What is this?
That would be the trip to West Lafayette where that would happen. That's a little tiny shop of horrors for them.
It sure is.
Yeah, that's a weird place to go.
That's actually one of the... Ironically... You look at what they've done with the train and the atmosphere there. That's one of the places that kind of you looked around, and when they were doing their survey and their research, it's like, well, Purdue, it's not the most exciting place to play, but they've made some tweaks and some in-game changes that are actually pretty good.
Yeah,
and the way that they've got the
place to watch a football game.
The train that they use, the tracks coming into the stadium, the team walk in, not just the drum, like that's a traditional thing that they've leaned into a little bit more, but then they added to it and they actually built a functional media center, which was important for press box.
Hard to ask for around the conference.
But then I heard from somebody else like, well, actually, there's some schools that are thinking when they remodel the stadiums that they're going to eliminate press boxes and like build a room like what Purdue has and just have a live feed of the TV.
Oh no, you can't do that.
I'm telling you, if you want to see the press box snob unleashed, try doing that at a game that I show up to. That's not going to be pretty. The Notebook is going to be visceral reaction.
The best part about going to a football game is watching live football.
Imagine that.
Yeah, that's a crazy concept. Yeah, don't do that.
If I see that, I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah. Ohio State has decided to rip out the press box that they just put in 10 years ago.
We're going to have to go down to like the 1822 club or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess if I can have an open tab.
Yeah, then you're fine.
Yeah.
Open bar, dude.
And then I won't be able to do the Notebook after the game.
No, you won't.
Yeah, that's against the rules. I guess you would have to do
it pregame. You'd have to ring the victory bell pregame for the Notebook to do that.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to get invited to do that anytime soon.
I think that we just workshopped our way out of it. So that's a very, very bad
Who would you want to ring the victory bell other than Archie? Who would be on your list?
James.
Yeah. I think he's going to be busy.
Carp?
The general? Yeah.
If there's one thing that I know
take it to the bank.
About Bob Carpenter, Robert Carpenter III, number 42, right next to me in this wall, is that there is nothing more that he enjoys more in life than getting the people fired up. Because we talked about it all the time. Whether we were talking to Cody Simon or Jack Sawyer last year, like these guys were kind of quiet, and Bob was always like pulling them to the side, like grabbing them by the shirts, like, listen, you're like a gladiator. Win the crowd, win your freedom. Like, you got to get these people off their couch and find that dog. He would get that stadium lit up. I'll tell you that much.
You could do the guy in the jersey next to him, too.
You could do AJ. That's a good one. Just all linebackers. Just doing all linebackers.
What if they get, all three of them together? You have Schlegs, Bob, and AJ just ripping that rope.
Yeah.
I mean,
it might shatter the bell. Might become the Liberty Bell. He could do it.
Tyvus, yeah.
Yeah, he could do it.
There's a 100% chance that Bob is ringing that bell.
Yes. Maybe this season.
I mean, probably by week 2. Like, oh no.
I don't need to see Grambling.
Oh no, week 2 is Grambling. We can't get a big time celebrity in. And I'll do it. Ross Bjork just hits up his buddy. He's like, hey, Bob, We did get Archie last week. We're having a harder time. We were always going to ask you, I promise. You were always on the list, Bob. We love you. But we just can't get someone in for Grambling. Can you rip that rope for Grambling?
We would do it in a heartbeat.
I'll be there. How hard do you want me to ring it?
He was probably going to be there anyways.
He's just going to always be up there.
Yeah.
Archie, you need any help?
Just in case.
I got your spot, bro.
Yeah, that's right. That's why they call him a team player. Before we get out here, I saw this today from Patriots camp. Travion Henderson picked up a blitzer, which seemed to be Von Miller. All right. Welcome to the NFL, Travion, and welcome to Travion NFL, learning about his blocking ability. They started rolling, scrapping on the ground. Mike Vrabel then physically jumped in to try to break it up. Will Campbell saw that this was happening and dove on a defender. Scrum broke out. Vrabel bled as he was fighting with players at the bottom of the pile. Which part of that story do you like more? Travion Henderson blowing up Von Miller on a pass rush, or Mike Vrabel bleeding from the head, fighting NFL players as the new coach of the Pats?
It's the most Ohio State story that I could ever hear about an NFL practice. It's like, I saw Mike Vrabel bleed before the game against Michigan in 2012, and I've seen Travion Henderson risk his limbs to pick up a blitzer.
Mike Vrabel, also ring the bell.
It's got to happen.
Yeah.
When are the bye weeks?
I don't know what their bye weeks are. I'm not exactly sure what their bye weeks are, but we got to get Vrabes in here. Why don't you and Berm do it?
No, they won't let us. I'd love to do the notebook from up there. That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
I've never been up there actually to see it, if you believe that.
I actually don't believe that. Why don't you guys work on that for this year?
I'm going to.
Okay.
I will.
Okay. Austin, had a great time with you this week. You were on Rothman and Ice tomorrow.
I'll be there. So will Rhyme Time.
Yeah, Rhymer, you'll be there. You guys will be with us at Yogi's in Grandview as well tomorrow night with me and Murph. Everybody have an awesome night. The Inside Edge is up next on The Fan.
We test marketed naming the show A Guy and His Butlers.
Oh, that is very touching.
But we thought Bishop and Friends had a better ring to it.
Weekday mornings at 9.
The Fan.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
It's your final splash of the season at Zumbizi Bay. Ride the new conservation tower one last time and splash in for just $19.99 after 4 p.m. Get your tickets at ZumbiziBay.com.
Zumbizi Bay.
The Donato's $5 Pizza Pals menu is adding some pals. Donato's savory and delicious family recipe meatballs are now on the Pizza Pals menus, along with new Oreo twists. Sweet, delicious pull-apart twists with real Oreo cookie pieces drizzled with vanilla icing. You can order unlimited $5 Pizza Pals with any large pizza. So order today and load up on all the Pizza Pals you want. Donato's. Gotta love more.
It's Kubota Orange Days. From America's #1 selling compact tractor to zero-turn mowers and versatile RTVs, get your perfect match delivered to your door. Now through June 30th, get 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,500 off BX23S tractors. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Visit BuckeyeKubotaDealers.com to find a dealer near you.
As America's largest custom home builder, Schumacher Homes believes a top-quality home should be affordable for everyone in the Buckeye State. We work with the leading architects to bring you the latest in design, and then you have the ability to make changes. Not just selecting finishes, but moving walls, adding rooms, literally customizing anything from the ground up. It's a misconception that custom homes have to be expensive. We work within your budget to build an amazing home on your land. Visit SchumacherHomes.com or any of our 9 Ohio locations.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance is prepared for what's next and protects what matters most to you. With independent insurance agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova Insurance is an easy win for your peace of mind. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent.